Hey everyone, how's everyone doing? Let me just get started. Why do I see two of myself? It's kind of, I'm seeing two hosts. So let me just get situated a little bit and we can get started. Okay. Okay. Welcome everyone. You want to let me know where you're from? I'm just going to go first. I'm from Chester Springs, PA. And where are you guys from? I mean, you can just put it in the chat. Okay. Yeah. So don't worry. This is getting live streamed on YouTube, so you can go back and watch it. And I have some exciting news. We just submitted our applications, and my student already got into the BSDO. So it was an on-the-spot decision. On Sunday, I sat with her and prepped her for the mini medical interview or the multiple medical interview, and she goes on Monday and she gets accepted. And I'm going to share her acceptance letter from the BSDO program. I mean, it's pretty good. I like both the programs, BSMD and DO. I like to have a wide range of colleges. I'm jumping right in. You're going to learn everything in this particular webinar. Any questions, please put them in the chat. It's because if I start looking at your questions, I'll never get through my presentation. Okay, so I'm just going to get started. It's like a longish presentation. Bear with me. My husband like kind of makes fun of me. Like, why do you have to have like 80 or 90 slides? And I'm like, you cannot cover BSMD and the medical program in like 5 slides, right? So that's where we are. So bear with me as I go through my presentation. Sorry, I have my phone ringing as well. So oh, it'll ring everywhere. I'm sorry about that. Just getting started. And sorry, just bear with me. I have so many presentations. Hmm. Okay, I found it. We can just about get started. Um, yeah. Okay, let me just get started. Any questions, please put them in the chat and I'll address them. Okay. So this is the BSMD admission process, but then again, you cannot have just BSMD without the traditional and other options. So I'm going to go over the different options that are there. I like both of them, BSMD and DO. You have nothing to lose when it comes to applying for both. You can then decide, oh, got a better offer with MD and go with it. But I always like to include both of them. And okay, a bit about me. I'm an immigrant. I studied in India. I was frustrated with the lack of clarity in the college process when my older son was applying. This was about 6 years back. Now you have everything at your fingertips, the Facebook group, WhatsApp, just about anything. But back then, 6 years back, information was not all that available, and also opportunities. So I decided that I'm just going to quit my corporate job and do that full time. So it's been about nearly 5 years now. Okay, and these are my certifications, my qualifications. I'm a Tony Robbins certified life coach. I glean a lot of good things from there. The success mindset, immersion, and everything is Tony Robbins' way of coaching, and I use that. I'm a positive psychology coach. Also an executive functioning skills coach, and I've trained under Peg Dawson. So executive functioning skills are the prefrontal cortex of the brain. That's where the planning, prioritization, focus, decision making, everything is in the prefrontal cortex of the brain. But guess what? In the teens, it's still developing from 15 to 25 years. And our education system is such that we put so much pressure on the prefrontal cortex of the brain that is still developing. Got it? And also, EFDD, executive functioning deficiency, is what is ADHD, right? So when you have certain faculties in your prefrontal cortex that aren't working properly, which is like lack of focus or short-term memory or anything, that's when you have ADHD. So this prefrontal cortex is very, very important, and I'm trained under Peg Dawson. I started off as a study skills coach. So that's what I did in the beginning of my practice. And I had quite a few students, and all I did is help them with time management, time estimation, planning, prioritization. And boom, they did exceptionally well academically. And as word spread, people started asking me about college counseling and everything, at which point I went to UC Berkeley to do my college counseling. I'm also a meditation instructor and a pranic healer, helps with my anxiety. I have a lot of OCD, anxiety, depression, and everything. And trust me, this whole practice of mine has saved me from myself, from self-sabotaging and overthinking. Okay. And yeah, so my whole team, I have a team of 20. They're all trained in college counseling, career counseling from UC Berkeley. Okay. So that's my qualification. And this is about personally, I graduated from Tier 2 IB in India, which is REC Calicut or NIT Calicut. My husband graduated from Harvard Extension School. It only took him 5 years. I'm just kidding. He had a lot of obstacles to go over. His father was sick. He passed away. And it was just a block, but he didn't give up. My older son, due to which I started this whole shindig, he graduated from Georgia Tech in 3.5 years with master's. This year, he's working in Moderna. Although he's a computer engineer, he does AI in Moderna because that's his jam. Okay, my youngest son is a rising senior, and no, I'm not his counselor. I did not help him with his college applications. A surgeon cannot operate on their family. So I've hired my mentor to guide my younger son. So he just applied to colleges, and he's not a STEM kid. He's a political science kid. And we live in Pennsylvania. I've had over 20 years of corporate experience. I gave that all up to start my own venture, and I love every single day of it. Okay. And okay, so who is this program for? Or I have this company, Gifted Gabber, and who is it for? Okay. You're in the right place if you want to skyrocket your child's success. I mean, the sky's the limit. You'll find all kinds of programs that we introduce here. And you want to create an unbeatable profile for BSMD with expert mentorship, passion project, advanced study skills, hands-on research experience. This is the place. Okay. And also, you want to outplay the competition. It's intense. Trust me, I know that. I had 50 students who applied to colleges this year, counseling, and every single one of them were exceptional. And we were able to provide that kind of profile for them, which was rather unique. Okay. And also, you want to fuel your child's learning. That's it. You want to make them eternal learners. And that's something that you will find here. You have to lay the foundation for them. I mean, it's a rat race. And you want them prepared, right? Not just to hustle, but to slow down, to speeden up is what I always say. Give them the right skill set so that they can go ahead and do very well in college. Okay. And this is the agenda for today. You're going to learn about the different medical paths, the BSMD versus BSDO, the key ingredients of a medical applicant. I'm going to show you this particular student who got accepted on Monday. Got it? And I'm going to tell you how we built her profile, our results, our Gifted Gabber results, and our edge or our secret sauce for cracking the BSMD. Okay. And also, I just want to warn you, I'm not for everybody. My company is not for everybody. My counseling is not for everybody. If you're looking for shortcuts, we're not for you. You are very hardworking, but you feel like your child shouldn't put in their hard work and effort, then this place is not for you. Service that I offer is not for you. And you feel like minimal effort and overnight success, nada, not going to work. And if you believe that grades alone are going to land your child in BSMD program, you're dead wrong. And I'm going to show you the exact formula. All you need to learn is the formula. I'm going to teach you that. And also, if you're seeking for a deal, you're a deal seeker and not quality, please look elsewhere, because our teachers, our creative writers are exceptional, and they are like top notch, and it costs money to hire them. Okay. Okay, there are going to be freebies at the end of the program. I have special coupon. Guess what? We are launching our neuroscience today. Okay. And if you hang in till the end, I'll give you a coupon code that's only valid like till a certain date, and you will be able to join my neuroscience program because that gets filled out in a jiffy. Okay. Yes. So you also will get a free scholarship guide to only people who are there in the webinar. It's not available for everybody who's not here. You will be able to see what are the kind of scholarships that are available for BSF, whether it's SAT, GPA, all those different kind of scholarship opportunities, you will find them. Okay, and great. So let's get started without any further ado. Okay, so our success, my students have gotten into Stanford, UPenn, Cornell, Harvard, pre-med, all the UCs, Carnegie Mellon, Mish, Case Western. Every year I get many students with scholarships getting into Case Western. I simply love it. Johns Hopkins, full tuition, Georgia Tech, Vanderbilt. My student this year already got into Baylor with 125K scholarship. UNC Chapel Hill, Berkeley. I mean, I just can't fit in all the logos here. Very proud of my students and my whole team that works very, very hard to get our students to the finish line. Okay. And our BSMD program success, these are the colleges that my students have gotten into. I have a lot more that is not here. Southern Indiana and all that are colleges that are not listed here. So my students get multiple scholarship offers, anywhere from 1 to 4 BSMD acceptances. Okay, so that's what it is. So you ready to know what the success formula is? So let's get started. All about the medical programs, I'm going to like strategically tell you what are the different options that are there, the different paths. The first is a traditional path. There's nothing wrong with the traditional path. It's a wonderful option. We always have that. Doesn't matter what the BSMD or BSDO you're applying to. We always have the traditional colleges, the pre-med track that will be there, the list of colleges. Okay. So the traditional path, basically, you do 4 years of undergrad, you finish those science requirements, you give your MCAT, and you have to apply to each and every colleges. That is the difference. Okay, each and every colleges through that portal called AMCAS, and then there is an interview and you get in. Okay, so if you're multitasking, please come back because this is the screen that you can take a snapshot of. This is the medical school admission criteria. You need an MCAT score anywhere from 508 to 514, depending on which college you're applying to. The overall GPA, they have like organic chemistry, biology, and all that. They need shadowing experience. They need clinical experience. They need research experience and publication. Okay. They need volunteering experiences and letters of recommendation. Okay. So I'm going to tell you that this thing is going to get repeated for BSMD with a little bit of tweaks. Okay. So if you want to take a snapshot of this, it's perfectly fine, but this is it. This is the criteria to get into medical school with a traditional path, okay? Then you have the early assurance programs, which I simply love. This is somewhere in between the traditional and the BSMD or the accelerated program. It's right in between. Okay, so Case Western has a pre-professional program, and I simply love that. It is that students get 2 years to test waters before they pursue the MD, so it gives them that extra 2 years, and they apply to the BSMD program in their sophomore year. That means they're already admitted into the program and they will opt for the BSMD at the sophomore year, at the end of the second year. So this is the early assurance program, which is very popular. And then the combined medical program, that's what you're here for, which is the BS and the MD combined together. It's either a 7-year or an 8-year program. You get it right? If it's Augusta, then it's 8-year. Other schools are 7-year, but then there is a trick. If you have enough APs in your high school, my son graduated with 20 APs. So that is how he was able to graduate in 2.5 years in undergrad. And then the other year he did his master's. So you can transfer your credits from your high school to that so that you will shave off 1 year. Okay, so that's a combined medical program. It's also called the direct medical program, accelerated medical program. The beauty of it is there's no separate admission process for med school. So you're given a conditional acceptance. Remember this, Conditional acceptance. It doesn't mean that, yeah, boom, shakalaka, you've gone into the MD school. There is a conditional acceptance for MCAT scores. You get it right? Hofstra, which is like the top-notch BSMD program, it gives a conditional acceptance. It gave to my student that she needed a minimum of 508. The requirement is fairly less, but they have a seat ready for them, but they have to meet that GPA and the test score requirement. Okay, so that is the BSMD program. Okay, and the acceptance rate notoriously low. We're looking at 1 to 5%. So what does this mean? Your child's profile has got to be 1 to 5%. You cannot just rely on Inky Dinky HOSA club as your extracurricular activity. You need to have that wow factor, and I'm going to show you what the wow factor, what could potentially be the wow factor and how to build it. Okay, so they are looking for the top notch. And there are some schools like Hofstra, which will tell you very clearly, if you're not in the top 5%, don't apply, because that's what they are looking for. Or for example, St. Louis will say, if you've gotten C's, please don't bother applying, right? So they can demand that because of the amount that they spend in building this program, the facility, the professors, the labs, the surgery, everything. So it costs them a lot of money. That is why they're super selective in taking candidates. But it's an exceptionally hard program as well. Okay. So any questions about the program, please put them in the chat and I will address them. Okay. Okay, another option is BSDO, right? So most of the DO doctors, they come back into mainstream primary care, family medicine, internal medicine, OBGYN, and pediatrics. My doctor, my primary care physician is a DO. Okay, Dr. Kalman is a DO. Next time you go to your primary care physician, just check out and you will see whether they're MD or DO. So DO is also an exceptionally good field. I've had students who are like, Joe, I want to make millions. I'm going to treat basketball players. Oh, no. Why does this person keep calling me? I'm so sorry. I'm just going to stop this. Hold on a minute. Let's just. Okay, so yes, so that's what is a DO program. I have a lot of students who are like, you know what, I'm going to treat basketball players and sports medicine, all that. That's a very up and coming field. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Next is the difference between MD and DO. Okay, MD is allopathy or allopathy or medical school, which is like modern medicine. Then osteopathy is osteopathic manual medicine, OMM, which is the osteopathic manipulative treatment. So they are different fields altogether, but very well, very well known, either one of them. Okay. So that's what it is. And okay, so what makes a great BSMD profile, right? What is it? Let me just take a moment to ask you guys, what do you think makes an exceptional BSMD profile? I want to make it as interactive as possible. So yeah, put in your answers. Doesn't have to be perfect, but yeah, go ahead. What do you think are the key factors to an exceptional profile? Anyone? You can just type in your answers. No one? Okay. Let me continue with my presentation. Okay. This happens every time when I try to do that. Okay. Sorry, it just keeps. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to go over the key ingredients that makes for a great BSMD profile. It's just 6 parameters. Okay. If you're multitasking, come back because these are the 6 key ingredients. Okay. Academics, number 1 factor. Test scores. Research is also very important. Community service, which is volunteering. Clinical exposure. or medical shadowing is something that is superbly important. And then the wow factor of the extracurricular activities, which I'm going to explain what is a wow factor, right? So here we are looking at applying to a program that's like 1 to 5% acceptance rate. So students need to get their A game in, right? So always think of what impact your child can do in a particular activity. I often get asked, what's the best extracurricular activity? Should I pick this extracurricular activity, that extracurricular activity? Always think from the point of view of how you're going to demonstrate the impact or the outcome of that activity in your college application, right? What is a tangible outcome? Always think of it like measurable, tangible outcomes to put in the college application, to put in the profile. That's it. When you can envision that, then it's a good activity. Okay. And school clubs are low level, low priority. Okay. You have 10 spaces in the Common App. We fill up the top 5 with activities that are outside the 4 walls of the classroom. So it's super important to make sure that you have all of these and you go a cut above to achieve them. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to go over deeply into each one of them. Academics, they are looking at GPA course rigor. Okay, course rigor is extremely, extremely important. If there's no class rank, it's all right. AP and IB courses are very important. What is course rigor? If your school offers 35 APs, at least 10 to 15 of them needs to be reflected in your transcript. You get it right? So course rigor is important. Okay. Next is the courses. Again, course rigor is shown here. I call it the four legs of the rectangle. So 4 legs of the table, which is the golden rectangle. You absolutely need to have AP biology, AP chemistry, calculus AB, AP calculus AB is good enough. Do not push your child to do BC before AB. If you have BC, it's a bonus. If you have statistics, it's a bonus. So it's super important that your child has calculus AB in their profile. Okay, and then physics 1. Another thing I've been seeing my students who are applying to colleges today is they didn't have physics. Physics is important because it's problem solving, right? And also, please don't be in the misconception that, oh, my child's going to be a doctor. Why does he or she need to know history? Wrong. You're in America. You need to know US history. So APUSH is another AP that's very good, world history and everything, right? So this is the requirement that colleges need, okay? 4 years of math, 4 years of science, 4 years of English, 3 years of history, preferably APs, then 3 years of foreign language, 2 consecutive years of 1 foreign language, another can be that also. My son took 1 Spanish and 2 Latin. Latin is also a very good foreign language. Okay, it's very easy actually as compared to Spanish. The problem with Spanish is they already have done so much in their middle school. So when they come to high school, they have to take advanced courses that gets harder and harder. So you can switch it up with Latin, and Latin also helps you with the medical terminology. Any questions about the courses? Please put it in the chat and I'm going to address them. If I start looking at your questions, I'm not going to go through my presentation. So I'm not looking at them. Okay, then we've gone over this. Then test scores. It is not test optional. You have to submit your scores. It's very, very clear in the BSMD applications. You need an upwards of 1530 for SAT or ACT 34. Colleges do not discriminate. I personally prefer ACT over SAT because it's more predictable. Okay, so this is the test score requirement. They need official test scores. Okay, now the extracurricular activities. The wow factor that I'm talking about is a combination of volunteering, shadowing, and research. Get it? That's it. You've got to have them. You cannot come and say, oh, my child has 400 hours of volunteering but doesn't have medical shadowing. Nah, because BSMD, they want to see if a student has spent time in a place where there's a doctor treating the ill. They want to see that experience. Research, number one extracurricular activity. That's it. I've spoken to a lot of admission officers. They all tell me George Washington, the admission officer, was right there. And I spoke to her, got in the details, and they will look at research. Okay, so these are the three important wow factors that are absolutely necessary in a profile. Any questions about this, please put in the chat. Okay. Then volunteering, you can go to hospice care. We also offer opening a school club, which is a Horizon Network Club that will help a student go and volunteer in hospice care. That's like the senior care near your homes. That's like the easiest place to start volunteering. Okay, hospitals, very, very needed. Research clinics is gone. I need to remove this. After the pandemic, it's almost impossible to get into the research clinic. And also there are age restrictions because they expect students to be like 18, as if they're going to be 18 in high school, right? That's a problem. Okay, and then shadowing. Super important. It can be pediatrician, physician, dentist, and chiropractor. My student who got into St. Louis BSMD with 128K, 125K scholarship, he had shadowed an ophthalmologist. So that's perfectly fine. The best person to ask is your pediatrician. If you cannot get it, walk into Walmart or Costco. You see the optometrist, the lens place. They can even shadow there until something comes by. So I don't want to hear like, oh my God, it's so difficult to get shadowing. Yes, it's difficult, but you've got to start early and keep hustling around, right? I tell my students, you can't sit at home and say, I didn't get a volunteering opportunity or a shadowing. Get in the car, take your child, go from hospital to hospital, around your house in the 20-mile radius, and say, I want to meet the manager. How can I get in? Start from ninth grade. Hustle, because this program's not easy. You've got to push yourself out of the comfort zone to get those pesky opportunities. Okay, then research. Research is creation of a scientific hypothesis. That's another super important experience that's needed. So there are two types of research that a student can do. Publish a research paper is what we offer under a university professor. Okay, please remember, if you're not doing research under a university professor, a PhD candidate, the outcome is a blog. It's not a research paper. It has to be mentored and guided by somebody who's a PhD and a university professor in their field. And working in a lab, which is again very difficult after the pandemic to start. But my students come to us, finish their research paper, put that in the resume to apply to the next best. My student who got into Stanford did research with us, went to MIT's biomed internship, and then landed in Stanford. So you got to build that story. You can't keep saying that, hey, I'm going to wait for that next best opportunity, right? No, you got to gather whatever you have and build on top of it. And I'm going to show you the resume of my students, okay? Next is the peer-reviewed paper. So the research paper that the students write is peer-reviewed by an expert. Means if they've written a research paper on neuroscience, then there's an expert. And if it's Huntington disease, for example, then there's an expert in Huntington disease who is going to review the paper for relevance, whether it's like kind of very what is a contribution, right? And then it's published, and that is what we offer. And over 100 students have successfully published their research paper. I'm just going to quickly show you the number of students that have published with us. Like I just gather everybody's research paper. And as you can see, it was published, the student's paper was published in the Journal of Student Research. You get a DOI link is what you inserted into your resume. So it tells colleges that you learned the skill to write a scientific research paper that's 4,000 words. And not only did you do that, you went and submitted for publishing. So that is something that you show tangible outcome. Tangible, measurable outcome is what's needed, okay? Now I'm going to go over the resume of a BSMD and BSDO candidate. Okay, so this is a student who did 3 research papers with us, as you can see here. Her third one was not published yet. When it gets published, you get a DOI link that you can put it in your resume. So her third paper was not published when she went to the MMI interview, but I mean, published when she was writing a research paper, but then it got published when she went to the MMI. Okay. Then there's also internships. She had a research internship. We offer internships. So she came back to our program and helped mentor other students to write a 4,000 word journal. Ria Mehta, who got 4 BSMD acceptances and got into Hofstra, she came back to be a research intern over summer, and she mentored other students. So it's like a cyclical thing that we offer mentorship to other students. She had a lab internship as well, where she worked on the skin effects of skin pigmentation and everything. And if you see here, she shadowed under a dentist, right? And she got 2 BSMD and BSD offers, right? And then she had volunteering in a hospital. Then she had clubs. I mean, it's not like you don't do clubs, but they are lower rung. And she had basically leadership opportunities also, which are very, very important. She had the certifications as well, like the CPR and everything. Okay. Any questions about the resume? Please put them in the chat. I'll address them. Okay. Next, I'm going to show you another student. She is in Rensselaer Polytechnic BSMD. Amazing kid. As you can see, look at her coursework. She has demonstrated course rigor. She had all these academic honors and awards. You have 5 spaces in the Common App, and she has a Presidential Service Award, AP Scholar with distinction. She was an AMC. She had leadership. She was founder of Chemistry Club in her school. She was part of the Mad Hatters. She would volunteer different places, and she had a lot of shadowing experience. So as colleges, the minimum is 100 hours for 4 years. Got it? That is the minimum. You just don't want to stick at the minimum. Got it? And then as you can see here, she had a lot of research, and you can put the link of your presentation into your resume. We offer this as well. Our students, when they give the thesis defense, I'm just going to show you what we do. We put it on our, this is our YouTube channel. I'm just going to share that with you. You can subscribe. You will see everything right there. Yeah, so hold on a second, everyone. So this is our YouTube channel. So this is what something that we offer is once they finish their, once their presentation is recorded, and we create their final presentation, which they can in turn insert it into their resume. So you see, we like 360-degree, we provide students with the profile building. Okay, so this is Anuprabha. Okay, any questions about the student profile and the resume, please put it in the chat, and I will address them. And also, please don't misconstrue that coding is not important. Sai, who got into SLU, he was a part of the coding club. He had computer science APs, both computer science APs. Got it? So they're all problem solving. They're left brain courses and everything. As you can see, Anu had artificial intelligence, machine learning, crochet, dance, even fine arts is important, which is the right part of the brain. Okay, they love to see dance, music, and all that in the BSMD program. Got it? So please don't think that it all has to be STEM related. Okay. Now, the PSD resistance that I want to share with you is the acceptance letter of my student who got into the BSMD program, the New York Institute of Technology's COM something program. And you can see here, she was given an on-the-spot merit scholarship of $30,000 per year, right? So the interview process is also very, very important. And we help students in the whole process, in the whole gamut. And you're going to laugh when I tell you what her topic of the Common App essay was. It was how bathroom is the best place for her thinking. Got it? And guess what? We did not discard it and tell her, what are you talking about? Bathroom? That's such a nonsensical topic. No, we helped her write a beautiful essay connected with Agatha Christie, because we had to find out which famous person got that best thinking in the bathroom. So we helped her write that beautiful essay. That was the Common App essay. Then helped her write the supplemental essays. The BSMD essay, which I'm going to tell you, is like a root canal. It's pretty difficult. It's like, why do you want to be a doctor? Why do you want to get into the BSMD program? And here it is, our result. I mean, it's like amazing. As you can see here, it's November 11th. It was this Monday that she got accepted into. Okay. And just that Sunday, I worked with her on preparing for the MMI interview. Okay. And I want to share with you what is the cost of attending a BSMD program. It's anywhere from $70,000 to $85,000. Okay. And of course, our job, our success is to bring down the price, is to make your budget 35 to 50. Okay, so that is how we build a program. This is our student. She shortlisted on 3 colleges. She got 4 BSMD acceptances, but she shortlisted 3. She got into Drexel, amazing school, Hofstra, and St. Louis. But she chose to go to Hofstra because that's like the old school, traditional BSMD program. Okay, and her cost was $37K per year. So you see how much it came down to with scholarships. And you get these scholarships for your profile building. Got it? So that's what we are very good at: the essays, the resume, the activities. Every single thing that you write in your college application contributes to this thing. Okay. Any questions about the BSMD cost and everything? Let me know. Any questions in your mind? I'm here to answer them. Okay. And this is her acceptance letter. She got into the 4+4 BSMD program. Okay. And okay, so now I'm going to go over the BSMD application process. It's not straightforward at all. Okay, so this is what happens in your 12th grade. Students submit this before the October 15th deadline, or the November 1st, November 15th. There's so many deadlines. Okay, Penn State is October 15th, means the BSMD application, not just the undergrad. Then November 1st is Drexel and Pitt. Okay, November 15th is University of Alabama. So we have all the deadlines and we help students. So it's a 3-part process. One is the Common App application where you submit your undergrad. Okay, then students need to get accepted. Then they're invited to apply to the BSMD program. Okay, a few of my students didn't get their UAB acceptance, which is University of Alabama, and I had to speak to the admissions officer to see where their application was stuck. And we found out that this student had a college course that he took from CUNY, College of New York City, but he had not uploaded the transcript. So we came to know of it. He uploaded this transcript, he got acceptance, and then he's able to apply to the University of Alabama Medical School. Then there is this multiple mini medical interview, MMI, which is like a very unique kind of a medical interview for the BSMD program. And we are experts in this. This is how my student got an on-the-spot accepted into BSDO. We teach students an elevator pitch. It's like how to introduce themselves, right? And then we have a rapid fire. We teach them how to answer the different scenarios and the questions. It's either a panel of admission officers asking questions, or it's a single person. So it depends. And we prepare them for every single college. Every single college's requirements is different. So this is what is a 3-step process. Any questions about the application process, please put them in the chat. Okay. Okay. So the question is, have you gained clarity about the BSMD, BSDO process? Let me take a breather here. Thumbs up, thumbs down. What are your thoughts? Let me know whether you learned something. Let's go. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay. What are your thoughts? Good. I see a lot of thumbs up. Fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. So let me just continue. I'm almost done. Then I'll take your questions. Oh my God. Every time I do this. Okay. I'm just going to. Okay. Sorry. It just refreshes. Okay. So I'm just going to go straight where I was. We're almost done. Okay. So how do you beat the competition, right? I gave you the blueprint, but how do you build the competition and how do you build that profile? I've given you the blueprint, right? Come on, now it's time to build it, right? So it is to create a plan to differentiate from others. That's it, simply said, but easier said than done, right? Okay, so here's where I'd like to introduce our unique solutions. We offer research under research professors. We offer many research programs. So these are the programs that we offer, but we release them month by month based on professor availability. Our nanoscience just closed. We have cancer, neuroscience, infectious diseases, nanoscience, reproductive organs, AI, genomics, and business. Okay. And what we are launching today is the neuroscience research program. Okay. Okay. So this is our formula for research success is deep learning with a research expert, which is a university professor. Then we have a creative writing professor. The students work simultaneously with them to produce a 4,000 word research paper, which we help them submit for publishing. Okay, so this is it. It's simply. I mean, it's not that simple. They do this for 10 to 12 weeks, and we guarantee a research paper. Remember, we guarantee a research paper, not publishing. Okay, publishing is the next step. Okay, it's unethical for us to give you assurance that your paper will get published, right? But we will give you a good quality research paper as an outcome. Okay. So the objectives of the neuroscience are the basics of medicine and neuroscience. It's taught by a professor from University of Southern California. He's an expert in neurodegenerative diseases, which is Huntington, Alzheimer's, all that kind of thing. Then they pick a topic and research deeply. So the first 3 weeks are about learning neuroscience and the basics. Then we help them pick the topic, individual research paper, and it doesn't matter how many times they want to change their topic, which is perfectly fine. We want them to learn, make mistakes, and learn. Got it? And then the third objective is to teach them scientific writing, and then they write a 4,000 word research paper on neuroscience with the guidance of the professors. Okay. And yeah, so these are the details. You'll find them all on our website. I'm going to share with you. We have group sessions and one-on-one sessions. There's a final presentation, which is a thesis defense, which we record and produce it so that students can stick it in their resume. You get it, right? And then submission, if given a chance, our teens would write the whole research paper in ChatGPT. But guess what? It's not acceptable. They do a lot of AI checking to see if it was AI written. And we do that. Our professors have turned it in and advanced AI tools that will help us to find out, and we guide them into all that. Okay. And yeah, so these are the further details of the program. They're all available on the website. I'm going to share that with you. And I should have blurred his name, but I didn't. I'm going to do that. So this is the professor. He's from University of Southern California. Amazing professor, amazing teacher. We've run so many rounds of neuroscience research with him, and simply amazing. Okay, he's the main professor. And then this is our wonderful creative writer. We have a whole team of creative writers. It will either be him or Professor Jennifer Tuban. So it'll be either one of them. They are creative writers. They are university professors who will teach students to write the paper, which is like how to write the introduction and everything. Okay. Introduction, the hypothesis, the abstract, just about everything. Okay. And so these are the details of week by week where they learn everything, the neurodegeneration, the therapeutic method, the deeper dive into specific research topics. I mean, this is what colleges love to see, that students have spent time in becoming subject matter experts, right? This is the wow factor of the extracurricular activities where you've set yourself apart. Got it? You've spent time in learning something deeply. You went outside the four walls of your classroom to gain knowledge and contribute. Okay, so that's very important. We do not discard our students' contribution, right? So that's what it is. And that's why our program is so successful. Our students going into the program have got extremely good acceptances and scholarships. Okay. And yeah, so this is the details of the creative writing where they learn about scientific inquiry, data analysis, and going through this program really helps them with their AP classes, biology and chemistry and everything, because what this generation lacks is deep learning. And that's what we teach them in our research program. Okay. So yeah, there is a draft review, another draft review. We literally teach them how to write the paragraph. It's not like they don't know how to write English, but this is a scientific research paper that they're writing. Okay. And then what to expect in the research paper, we literally teach them how to write diagrams through tools called BioRender and everything. There is no copy and paste here. There's going to be data collection. They're going to create copious amount of graphs. We do not approve any paper if it does not have a result compilation or a graph or some sort. Okay. And of course, we help them submit for publishing, right? That is, as mentors, it's student driven. So it has to be submitted by student. Any queries that come, we help them. Okay. And of course, the reality of a manuscript, Prince Charles waited 50 years to get on the throne. So it's not an overnight thing. Research papers take about 3 to 6 months to get published. If it gets published lesser than that time, you're raising the bullshit meter of the admissions officer because they know what the process is. And they'll start digging into a student's profile. Okay. So please, whatever it is, honesty is the key. Don't try to pad anything or raise, and don't say you're going to go to India and get some like shadowing hours. Where are you studying? You're studying in the US. Now, why would you go and do shadowing in India, right? And also, AP research is not considered an extracurricular activity because it's part of the curriculum. Okay, let me remind you, anything that is part of the curriculum cannot be an extracurricular activity. Okay, AP research comes under courses. So please don't think that AP research is not done under a professor. It's done in the school. AP seminar, AP research, all that is part of the AP capstone. It's a course. AP is a course. This is research outside the four walls of the classroom. Please remember that. Okay. And of course, why is this repeating? I'm sorry, I'm just repeating this for some reason. Okay, so how do you register? All the information is on our website, giftedgabber.com. I'm just going to put that in the chat. Okay, so you will be able to access it. So if you go right here into our courses, you will see that neuroscience is the only research that's open now. Cancer, everything, you join the waitlist. You can go in here. My wonderful team has created this wonderful page which has all the details in this. You will find all the details about the sessions and enrollment and everything. Every single detail is right there. The dates are also there. Because of the holidays, the professor is not available. He's available only in January, but then we will start enrolling like today. All right. So this is the professor. This is our creative writer. We have our wonderful coordinator, Laurie, who's amazing. She helps with our counseling as well as interns for this program. And you will see that we have two options here, the basic and the premium. The basic, you get 4 one-on-one sessions. With the premium, you get 8 one-on-one sessions. Okay, so that's the difference. All the pricing and everything is available right here. You enroll here. It's super simple. You can pick whether we've given you an option to either pay monthly or at one shot. All that is available. And it's like super easy to enroll in our program. You have the basic and the premium package. You will be able to see all our students' a presentation right here in our channel, our YouTube channel. Okay, so you will see all the playlists that are there, whether it's nanoscience, neuroscience, AI, everything is available right here you can join our YouTube channel and you will be able to see everywhere. Okay. Yeah. So this is okay. Where was I? I'm just going to go back. Sorry about that. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, so we also offer BSMD counseling, which is going to start soon, where it's 10 weeks, group sessions and one-on-one, where we literally help you create that profile. All you need is the 6 parameters, and we help you build that in 10 weeks. It's a wonderful program. And we are coming out with our BSMD counseling, comprehensive counseling for juniors. Means you join this program and you will be with us till the college application and everything. Okay. So that is something that we will be launching as well. And the question is, why do you participate in research, right? Why? How does it help, right? I've spoken to many admission officers, and this is how to impress colleges with research. Number one, it's an atypical or a rare extracurricular activity. It falls into the wow factor. It's also a passion project, right? And it demonstrates intellectual curiosity. If you're applying to Stanford, the number one question, the supplemental essay is, can you tell us a time that you solved a problem or you showed your intellectual curiosity? Very important. You can write about your research. It makes them subject matter experts. Most of my students, they keep coming back for to our own programs. Okay, typically my students do anywhere from 2 to 3 research papers, and it also shows deep learning to colleges, and it's a unique activity in a subject, right? I mean, can you beat that? It just it checks off all the blocks in that. Okay, and our program success, Rensselaer Polytechnic is 700 applicants, 15 to 18 students get selected, and our student got in. I showed you our resume. Okay, our students typically get into 1 to 4 BSMD colleges with scholarships, like I showed you my students' scholarship profile and everything. Okay, so that's how we work towards building a profile. Okay, and I also want to tell you a new thing that we are introducing is our students' research success is media. We are trying to get media attentions to our students. You can see here that she was mentioned in the newspaper, and okay, it's okay. So she was mentioned in the newspaper, her achievement, and we were all mentioned. It was Professor Prahalad, Jyotsna, and Professor Virgo about her research paper. Okay, and also I just want to share our other passion project success. Okay, so this is the acceptance letter from Hofstra for my student, where it says that I enjoyed learning about Garba through your essay, and I'm happy that it makes you feel connected to your culture. That is, if I were to say one thing that we offer to the student is the uniqueness, and you see whether be it the bathroom essay or an essay on Garba, we know how to present and create an exceptional profile that gets those acceptances and scholarships. Okay. And this is an acceptance letter from Duke, and I'm going to read it. It says, I enjoyed reviewing your application, and the admissions committee was impressed by your innovative projects and research prowess. So you see how important research is for the top 25 colleges. Okay. And yeah, and these are some love from our students. Our student got into Johns Hopkins full tuition, St. Bonaventure, just name it. They've gotten into our program. And passion project success. This is our student who has a suicide prevention effort. He was featured on Fox 29. As a result of stress accumulated over time. Okay, so this is how we help students. We are launching this new program, success of a couple of students in media. We are creating a whole media profile for our students. Okay, now for the best part, just because you are here today, you get a coupon for $200. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to paste that coupon in the chat. You can put that in the checkout counter for $200 off. early bird 2025 for $200. It's a special offer and it expires pretty soon. Once we meet the numbers, we will close out our neuroscience program. We take only between 5 to 10 students in our program. Okay, so better run and enroll. That's our most sought after program. And I asked Professor this Sunday when I was discussing, why is it like this? And he's like, Joe, you need to see the population, the aging population. Like 40% of Earth is filled with people over 60 years, and that's why neurodegenerative disease is so popular. Okay, so here it is. This is your free scholarship course. You can enroll into this, and I gave you the link. And now we're going to get to the questions. Okay, you can raise your hand and I can make you a panelist so that you can unmute yourself and ask. What the question is, what are the options for H-1B? Fantastic. I do appear on the immigration show. So there are colleges like Brown, University of Connecticut that do accept students on H-1B visa. 40% of my students are on an immigrant visa. All right. Great question. The other question is, can shadowing experience be virtual or is that not sufficient? Christine, it has to be in person. Pandemic is gone. The colleges expect students to be in a medical facility, gleaning from a medical professional. Okay, great question. What should we do if our school doesn't offer APs? I mean, what school is that? But it's okay. So there's something called as a school profile, or which is part of the recommendation, and the admission officer will know how many APs are offered. Okay, or is it an IB curriculum? IB curriculum is exceptional. Please grab it. A lot of colleges prefer IB curriculum. I hope that's your question. Okay, the other question is, my son is in 11th grade but didn't take physics this year. Is it necessary? He took anatomy, genetics, biochem, AP, calculus, AP, like I mentioned. Physics is very important. If he didn't take it in 11th, he has to take it in the senior year. Okay, your school may not require it, but BSMD programs require it. Okay, how important is EMS experience? Again, Madhu, the thing is, what is the impact that you're showing with the EMS experience, right? So they typically study and pass that certification. It's good. They get on the ambulance and they go and give CPR and everything. So it's an impactful activity. Okay, so the question is, can you repeat how many years of each course is recommended to take in high school? Of course, yeah, it's 4 years of English, 4 years of math, 4 years of science, 3 years of history or social studies, 3 years of foreign language. That's very important. Is it possible to get full ride for BSMD or BSDO? Absolutely possible. What is full ride? What is full tuition? Full ride is including your accommodation, which is very, very rare. Full tuition is just the tuition without the accommodation. So Madhu, that means your child has to be 0.001%, like super exceptional for a college to like open their wallets, right? So, but it's possible. Okay. Can you email the Speed PT? Meena, please go over our YouTube channel. The complete presentation is available. Due to our legal and intellectual property, we are unable to give you the slides, but you can watch the video. Okay, great. Isha, what are your thoughts on AP research? How does research curriculum, I can answer that question. AP research is part of your courses or curriculum. It's not considered an extracurricular activity. Got it? So why do all your students not publish? Do you have students who choose research topics that generate interest to be published? Okay, so not every student has the discipline to go through that, although we encourage it, right? A lot of them stop at writing the research paper, and we have a major part of them who do submit their paper because it's not easy. You have to write it in a certain format, go online, click so many buttons, and it's the formatting and everything and submitting. So that's why many of your research are extremely deep and vast. It looks a lot like literature review and summary. Yes, it is. Thank you for pointing it out. We do not have a real lab, but a secondary review is also considered research because these are high school students. Got it? So secondary literature review is perfectly fine and acceptable research. Got it? And of course, they will be contributing their own hypothesis, and that is why their paper get published. Okay, great question. Primary research, if they get an opportunity. Next question. What is the minimum SAT score for BSMD? It's about 1530 plus. Okay, ACT of 34 plus. Okay, great question. I'm completing shadowing and research through a course in my school. So would it be possible to be, I'm not very sure about what your question is. If you can unmute yourself, I can answer that. Completing shadowing and research through my course. I would like to understand the course. Is it allied health? Then it's considered very, very good. Yes. Okay, so I need to know more so that I can answer you. The question is, my daughter is in 9th grade. Can we start with you now? And how can we start? Yes, Tan, certainly you can join our neuroscience research program today. And we will be opening our BSMD and college counseling, which you can eventually enroll in. But research is the #1 extracurricular activity. To answer Isha's question, what happens is our student complete this research and they use this research to apply for the next best one. Okay, so the next best one are extremely competitive. You need to have something, and that something is what we provide. Okay, posing as I got disconnected. The question is, what are the options for H-1B? There are schools that take in H-1B visas like Brown and University of Connecticut BSMD programs. So we do have that list, okay? The next session is Jan 25. Yes, but you can, if you enroll today, you will have an opportunity to go over the recordings and everything and start preparing in summer, right? Sorry, not summer, during the Christmas break. So we will give you all the prerequisites and everything. If you enroll today, you'll get access to the learning management portal where you can go about and start looking at and starting a pre-research before the research, right? So that's what we have. Anyone has a question, I'm just going to make you promote you to panelist. And yes, Tan, you can unmute yourself and start talking. Yeah. Okay, anyone else has a question, please raise your hand and I will make you a panelist and unmute. Yeah, Tan, you can start talking. Okay. Okay, and there's another, yeah, go ahead. You're speaking, you're going to speak, you or not, or I'll answer another question.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can, thank you.
I don't know how I got the link, but this is super, super helpful. I mean, I really appreciate your time. Yeah, so I grew up in Kansas City and I have my professor, like 3 child went to UMKC as a BSMD program. So one of them is a Duke. He's here. So the BSMD is super helpful for the kids, who can take the pressure. So my question is, I think you mentioned about the neuroscience. Definitely, we're interested on the program. So can we consider you as a college counselor? Like in case, my daughter doesn't get in BSMD program, I still want her to go to a pre-med program.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the thing is, I counsel high school students. So I'll tell you how the pre-med works. Okay. In the pre-med school, when you go to, they have a medical counselor. So the school will help you counsel for that. And also, BSMD is like scaling the Mount Everest. You get it, right? When you prepare to scale the Mount Everest, you reach the base camp, which is pre-med. You get it? Pre-med is always a good option. You get it? My students go to pre-med with full tuition. Get it? Sometimes they don't even go to the BSMD because this is so full tuition, right?
Correct. Yeah. So I mean, we'll get the benefit of both, like, so absolutely. BSMD plus pre-med, right? Okay.
Yes. So you should aim to go to the BSMD so that your pre-med gets good also, like I told you, right? So if you're just aiming for pre-med, then your activities are going to be like this. But if you're aiming for BSMD, your activity is going to be better. Which grade is your child?
9th grade. My daughter name is Charlie, so she's in 9th grade. Yeah.
Yeah. You need to start early so that you have. You need to start early so that you have more time. The later you start, the more time it takes, right?
Yep.
So yeah. So neuro is the first thing that gets sold, sir.
Yep.
So enroll quickly.
Yeah.
Okay?
Tonight. Yep. Thank you.
No problem. And the coupon code. Okay, the question is it common for BSMD programs to not require MCAT? Oh my God, please don't apply to, okay, let me ask you this question, honey, the anonymous attendee. When you're on a, in the hospital and you're, God forbid, your brain needs to cut open, which doctor would you like to be operated by, a person who's not taken MCAT or a person who's aced MCAT? This is my question to you. Okay, so MCAT is something that's very, very important. Colleges that waive MCAT, they're simply impossible to get into. Okay, like with the MCAT itself, it's 1 to 5% acceptance. If they waive MCAT, it's less than 1% acceptance. You may as well not apply to that college. Okay, and before anybody cuts open my brain, I would like to see their score of MCAT and USMLE. I'm just kidding, but don't look at it like that. Okay, great. Average number of APs who get accepted into BSMD, Krish Rao, it's anywhere from 10 to 20. Okay, my son graduated with 20 APs. His classmate, Christina, who got into Penn State, BSMD and Harvard pre-med, she had 19 APs. And another student, typically my students come with 10 to 15 APs. Okay, great question. What are some of the financial aid options to afford this program for H-1B and H-4 visa? Again, it's FAFSA and CSS based on your income. There are two kinds of financial. One is based on your income. Your income is low, you get financial aid, and then there's merit scholarships, right? So that's what it is. Okay, great questions. Anyone else has a question? Please raise your hand. I'm going to promote you to the moderator and the panelist, or I'm going to help you ask a question. Any question? Okay, so the coupon code is Early Bird 2025. You will get access to the current learning management portal that will aid you to go and check out what the professor has to say and everything, and get ready because Jan 5th, we are starting. Okay. Hi, I'm a senior wondering what I can do now, or is it too late? Yes, you can still do research. Yeah, which colleges are you going to apply to? And also in the application, you can say that you're pursuing research. You have to be utterly honest. Please let me tell you one thing. Whatever you do, do not raise red flags in your college application. Be as honest and do not pad your profile, because when the admission officer has a question about the student, they're not going to call the student, they're going to call the a high school counselor, right? So we don't want that. So please make sure you're as honest as possible in your college applications. Okay. Any other questions? I'm going to take one more question before we call it a day. Oh my God, you guys are frigging awesome. You spent an hour learning about the BSMD program with me. It shows how driven and wonderful parents and students you are. So one last question before we call it a night. Anyone? Anyone? You can just raise your hand and I will unmute you. Okay? No? No questions? Okay. Okay, so it's giftedgabber.com. I'm going to put the link on the chat, and it's early bird. So we are only launching neuroscience for now. That's the first thing that's going to be here. You're lucky because it just got launched now, right? And it gets full. And I'm sorry, we won't be able to accommodate you because our agreement with the professor restricts us to having more, like a lot of students in the class. Okay. Any other questions? No? Okay. I want to say bye to you. Have a wonderful weekend and take care. Look forward to seeing your kids or you, if you're a kid, in